But back to talk again about major seventh chords. We talked about them last time in lesson number 28. This is now lesson number 29. I want to show you some movable major seventh chord forms. Last time we talked about how to construct the major sevens, and we did some of those first position ones. A major 7, C major 7, F major 7, G major 7. And those are great chords for especially some of the songs we were talking about, some of the different pop singer-songwriter type things. Real nice sounding chords for that sort of thing. But when you get into the movable major seventh chord forms, you get some more jazzy type of chord progressions like I was just doing there. And the thing about these, it's just like everything with the guitar. It may seem very difficult when you first start, but somewhere down the line, it could be days, weeks, months, years. Somewhere down the line, you're just going to find that you're doing these things naturally and have made them a part of your skills and abilities as a guitarist. And you're going to wonder when that happened. Think back, wow, I was having such a hard time with that at one time, but now it's nothing. So that being said, don't expect miracles overnight with your guitar playing, anything you're working on, really. But with these major 7 chord forms, now I do have the charts, which you had at the very beginning, and I'll try and segment this and put them back in. But the ones the main ones I'd like to look at, though, are this, it's known as a G major 7, just because we're doing it at the 3rd fret, and it's movable, so it goes anywhere. But we're going to start at the 3rd fret, and you need your first finger, and it's going to go on the 6th string right there at the 3rd fret, okay? And you really got to kind of curve this thing around, because now your 2nd finger is going to come over on the 2nd string at the same fret. Okay, you got those both together there. Then your 3rd finger reaches across to the 4th string, now at the 4th fret. And your 4th finger is taking the 3rd string at the 4th fret. If you to visualize this maybe, and we'll just break it off right now and do this. You know how to play an A minor chord, right? You put your first finger on a 2nd string at the 1st fret, 2nd finger on the 4th string at the 2nd, 3rd finger on the 3rd string. There's your A minor. This shape kind of looks like that, okay? Except if you use your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th fingers and put them in place there, and then take your first finger and curl it around. And what you're doing with your first finger here is this. You are applying pressure to the 6th string to make that to sound up, because that's the root of the chord. But what you're doing, the 5th string, if you can hear, I'm hitting the 5th string now, and I'm deadening that by rolling that finger over. Normally with chords, when you're beginning, you want to come straight down, use the tips of your fingers. It's not the case all the time. Again, this is one of those deals where you learn how to do it by the rules, and that's going to give you better sounds on a lot of chords. But once you know the rules, then you start breaking them to do other things. So again, this chord, let's quickly go back to our placement. First finger's going on the 6th string at the 3rd fret. Your 2nd finger is going to go on the 2nd string at the 3rd fret as well. 3rd finger comes over into the 4th string at the 4th fret, and 4th finger on the 3rd string. Okay? We get our 6th string to sound, and then it rolls over. Deadens out 5. Okay, because we do not want that note. Then we've got an F sharp sounding out on the 4th string, the B sounding out on the 3rd string, and the D is under our 2nd finger on the second string. Now the other, farther back on your first finger, it's also, not only is it rolling over, it's covering the sixth, it's doing three things. It's covering the sixth string and making that sound out with the G. It's rolling over and blocking off the fifth string to keep it from sounding. And also right up in here near the joint, you're also just barely touching the first string to prevent that from sounding. So you're blocking out two strings and sounding one with your first finger. That's why it's got that a little bit different curvature. But there's your G major 7 chord. Very nice chord. Now, once you can play it, you move it. A, B, C, D. And that says an F back there too. Okay, not a super easy chord to play, but as you can see, I can do it now. It took me a while to get used to it, but it's worth the effort. You'll find that this is a really cool chord to be able to play. The other form I really want to spend the time looking at is what's known as a C major 7 form. Now for this one, this is based on that A major 7 we did last time, where we put our fingers like this. We had our first finger on the third string at the first fret, and our second finger on the fourth string at second, third finger on the second string. We had that nice C major 7. Well, all we're doing is we're going to substitute fingers, second, third, and fourth instead of your first, second, and third. That leaves your first finger free. Come up here and take care of what we're going to do. Now, from A to B is a whole step, right? So if we went there, we'd have that. B to C is a half step. Now, what we're going to do here, first finger's going to come down on the fifth string. Now, some people like to play this in a similar manner to what we just did. With your fifth string sounding nicely, that's your root of the chord now. And then rolling out like we did with that G major 7 and not allowing the first string to sound. But honestly, it's a nice sound. The first string will fit in the chord. So this is more of a bar, okay? More of a bar where we're picking up the fifth and the first strings. We don't necessarily want the sixth string in it because that's the fifth of the chord. That's a G there. We don't really want that. There are certain exceptions where that'll sound good. It's a nice chord. But your standard movable C major 7, we're just going to do with this. Again, bar, 2, 3, 4, boom. Now, once you are feeling like you know where your fingers go, again, we move this, F, G, F, E, C. We can do all that stuff. And then, now that we've got these two forms, of course, what we're going to do is kind of bounce back and forth between them. Try and do it with me. Get your G major 7. We'll take our time. First finger's there, second finger's there, third. Yep, we got it. Strum it and then move to C major 7. Move up 2 frets. The A major 7. First finger, second finger, third finger. Get that rollover. And then D major 7. Then B major 7. E major 7. C major 7, F major 7. I'm Bud Summers. Thanks. By the way, that chord progression I was just playing there is from one of my songs. It's called The Way I Do. If you look it up on Spotify or on Apple Music or anything, The Way I Do uses some cool chords with this progression. And a couple of those chords we haven't done yet, but I think next time, I think I have planned for next time coming back and showing you a couple of those other chords in there. Until then, if you have any questions, certainly comment or email me or whatever you feel comfortable doing. And practice, practice, practice. Have some fun with the guitar out there. We'll see you soon. Bye.